Good evening, folks. My name's Tom Farrow, and this is the Organizational Behavior News Network. On tonight's episode of Align the Misaligned, we have 4 students from the Georgia Institute of Technology who have answered the call to transform the workforce. They've taken a few minutes out of their busy schedule to talk with us tonight. Now the call should be coming through. Can you all hear me right now?
Loud and clear, Tom.
Okay, great. So, why don't you tell me your names and a little bit about yourselves, like your interests?
Hi, I'm Peyton. I'm a second-year business major, and I'm interested in finance and intellectual property.
Hey, I'm Jackson Grant. I'm a second-year finance major, and I'm interested in entrepreneurship and investments.
I'm Sully Anderson. I'm a third-year mechanical engineer. I'm interested in product testing.
I'm Curtis Harns, second year business administration. I'm interested in entrepreneurship.
Wow, you all seem like very accomplished individuals. I wish I was like that back when I was in college. So, based on my prior knowledge to what is going on here, it seems like the companies that you interviewed had some discrepancies between their espoused values and their fiscal structures and their stories. Could you go into detail about that and really give us some insight as into how that affects them as a team or even individual employees?
Sure thing, Tom. When I interviewed Dave Anderson at Comfort Systems USA Southeast, he told me their stories focused primarily on what went right at job sites. While this may sound like a good thing, this directly diverges from the values of Comfort Systems USA, which is to pursue innovation. And by telling their employees exactly what went right, you're disallowing their creativity to show through and actually expand and become more energy efficient, which is another one of their values, and pursue innovation.
Similar to what Sully said, one of the physical structures I noticed when I was interviewing Paul O'Malley from Saga Communications was that the windows were completely blacked out. Now, although this is to prevent distraction, the darkness of the windows misaligned with the espoused values of openness and transparency. Jackson, do you have any misalignments?
Yeah, I do. Thanks for asking. So actually, my interviewee, Judy Grant, she worked at Management Science America, and they had a misalignment between stories and espoused values. The problem was they did not have stories. They always said you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so if there's not management telling stories about how to run the company or how things have gone in the past, no one is going to learn, and they're going to keep failing and costing the company a lot of money and not be efficient.
The misalignment I noticed was physical structure. I interviewed Aubrey Leonard, programming coordinator at ATDC. I noticed individual office cubicles. I believe this made them less efficient with their work. So I asked Aubrey about this. He responded that it never came out and they never worked with one another. So I asked what would he do to change this, and he never responded. So maybe this was something wrong with his organization, but I never questioned it.
Yeah, and honestly, as you can see, all of these misalignments here with stories and physical structures that we have really hurt our teams and individuals. Simply because if our teams are not happy while they're working and they don't feel like they're in a positive environment, and if our teams aren't getting the information they need through stories, or if they're getting the wrong information through stories, the whole process is really hurt. So thus, if the team is not working well, the individual will not be working well, and it overall creates extra costs to the company in a really, really inefficient environment.
Wow, looking at it that way, I can see how those 2 misalignments really poorly impact culture and create an unproductive workforce. So what do you think that you can do to make those misalignments better and help these companies in the future?
Well, Tom, one thing Comfort Systems USA could do is when telling its stories, they could focus more on what the issue was and what they tried that didn't work, instead of trying to tell everyone what did work. Because by telling people what didn't work, they know what paths not to go down. However, it still allows them the opportunity to innovate and take pride in what they do. Did you have any suggestions, Peyton?
As a matter of fact, I do. Thanks, Sully. A possible solution to the misalignment at Saga Communications would be to tint the windows instead of entirely blocking them out. This way, pedestrians cannot look into the windows, being a distraction, while the employees can also look outside. Another proposed solution is to have remote control blinds that come down and they can be used when needed. Jackson, do you have any solutions?
Yeah, I do. So at Management Science America, since they do have the espoused value is you're only as strong as your weakest link, I propose that since, they do have no stories, they should have a mentorship program where their lower level employees and new recruits go and meet with the experienced and upper level employees. Thus, a story, kind of transfer can occur, so new knowledge can be passed down, and then it'll become more efficient, and these weakest links will then become the strongest links. What about you, Curtis?
To help Audrey and ATDC, I believe that they should knock down office cubicles and just make the office as one. I believe that this will make it more efficient and they can all put their brains together to complete the task and the goal.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there. Viewers, if you're a business owner and you heard what these students have said, and you think you have the same problems with either stories or physical structures, really take to heart and heed the knowledge that they just gave us. If you can implement the solutions that they said, then your business will have a much, much improved culture, and your employees will be able to make a better product or service. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here this evening. It was great hearing all the recommendations that you had.
Thanks for having us on, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. See you later.
I think it's safe to say we can call this case a lie. Now stay tuned, because tomorrow we'll break down cultural mishaps at the University of Georgia. See you next time.
Transparent values that they hold, and I messed up. I don't know.
That's the problem. They have an espoused value of you are the weakest link.
What about you, Curtis?
I noticed physical misalignments in my interviewee, Aubrey. I noticed cubicles. They were very small. I noticed.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know where that came from. I don't even got that right.
Alright, that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Chill, bro. You got me dead, bro. Alright. I'm about to snap one more time.
I'm just gonna bite my tongue during this.
The misalignment I noticed in physical structure. Alright, bro. We straight.
Alright, we're good.
Alright. I noticed individual cubicles in the office.
Since this is going on YouTube.
Is this the same video? Or is this a new
Yeah,
one?
the same video. Just gonna wait for Curtis and interrupt it too if he's ready.
Okay.
Listen. Did I just start speaking?
Sure.
What are you doing?
I gotta get my voice.
Okay, alright.
Well, you never see High School Musical?